Hi, my name is Rosalie Anthony and welcome to Ask an Untraditional Student. I had the pleasure of sitting down with my friend Christy Wanacott and talking to her about her experiences.
I'm a senior at Point Park University. My name is Christy Wanacott and my major is a BA in writing for film and media with a minor in history. I was retired and I spent 50 years in corporate America. And actually I was talking to my brother one night and he said, well, why not? I wrote novels before I wrote the screenplays. And he said, everybody that read them thought had a movie running in their head. So my brother said, why don't you pick a college and go back to school and be with other screenwriters and learn your craft? And so interestingly enough, I contacted 5 universities. None of them were Point Park, and no one returned my call, seriously. And I had to have transcripts. So I was getting fax transcripts and things like that. And I walked into an Office Depot, and a young man behind the counter, at the same time I had a sales agreement for one of my scripts. And the young man behind the counter said, are you a screenwriter? And I said, I am. And I said, I'm going back to school. And he said, have you ever considered Point Park? And I honestly said, I never heard of it. I called Point Park on a Thursday. They were lovely. They invited me to campus on Friday, asked for my portfolio, and the rest is history. So here students. I love the students. I always love being a grandma, and my grandkids are spread apart. And I came back to the university and I lived in the dorm the first year. And the young people, I shouldn't say kids, I apologize, my peers, they would come in my room. It was amazing. My youngest grandson was being bullied, and a lot of the girls were dancers, and the guys were dancers too. And there's this dance, I'm not really sure what it's called, but you do this thing, and he couldn't do it. So all the dancers sang his name, my grandson's name, on a video and showed him how to do it. And they were, brought tears to my eyes too. And they said, this is for you, Colton. And I still have that video. So every student that I've met here has given me something back, much more joy than I could ever imagine. The wonderful world of film. I was introduced in school. I know international film's been around forever, but school introduced me to the wonderful world of international film and the different directors and how they film in Italy versus how they film in Japan or China or America. And we learned things about cinematography. We learned transitions. In fact, I was just talking about this last night. In my screenplays, I make the same transitions that editors and directors make now. I would not have done that without school. School has taught me that, I used a simple example, if the character in this scene, in the interior scene, is using a bar of soap, the next scene you should go right to seeing bubbles in the air. And that's something a director or an editor usually does. And I try to put that in my scripts now to make it flow smoother. I was terrified of taking science. And then I took it, it turned out to be my favorite subject. Now, it was a science class made for people like moi, who is a screenwriter, but it opened up my eyes to a whole new world and a whole new world of writing. When I first came into school, my first screenwriting teacher made a remark and said, where do ideas come from? And the answer was everywhere. And he was absolutely right, because in the 4 years I've been here, so many new screenplay ideas have come to me, including the first year we were here, we made a movie based on an experience I had with the freshman dorm. So. One of the things I joke about, that if your high school's been replaced by a parking garage, don't panic. Your transcripts are still there somewhere. The other thing was, I did attend college in the 1980s, and I had 24 credit hours. And when I contacted the colleges for my transcripts, they told me they had no record, because that was before your social media days, you know. But fortunately, I kept all the records. I had all my grades and all my transcripts. And I said, oh, I did go to your school, and here they are. That's what I was faxing. And they in turn had to do transcripts because I had all the proofs I had gone to school. I have something called an auto-processing disorder. Besides, I also have some handicap issues. So I was always intimidated by college because tutoring was just not something that was offered like it is today. And when I found out that I could come back to school and go to tutoring, I was like, whoa, I can do this. You know, I came in here with the mindset I was going to get a 4.0. So I drove them crazy in tutoring, getting this 4.0. And it was really only for myself, because at 69 years old, nobody's going to care that I have a 4.0 when I graduate from college. But that was probably one of my biggest challenges, is understanding some things, because I don't, with auto-processing disorder, you don't hold a lot of things, you know, and it gets garbled up here, I guess is the best way to say it. And tutoring and the professors here have been marvelous in helping me through that and helping other students through it too. You know, Point Park is a family. I don't think I would have been a family at Pitt. You know, there have been too many students. Here you walk around, everybody on campus knows you. All the professors know you. I mean, of course you have to speak to them as well, but it really, they want to see you succeed. And they go the extra mile to see that happen. So that was probably, it was my own challenge. It was my inner challenge, I guess. Well, Point Park gave me an amazing scholarship. But let me explain why. Because of my age, I had already written 3 novels and 3 screenplays. So when I came for the interview, they told me to submit my novels and my screenplays, and that I would probably get a scholastic and an achievement scholarship. So that was the first part. And then I tackled my first FASA. And believe it or not, I've written 3 podcasts to seniors about going back to school, because it's not easy for us. Funny, because this one happens to me all the time. Find your passion. Something that I've discovered young people have an opportunity to, that I did not have an opportunity to experience as a child, is, you know, when I went to school, it was math, science, history, civics, you know, just the core subjects that you learn in college. When I came into school and found out that you could dance, you could learn animation, you could learn set design, you could learn costume design. It was like, oh my gosh, these young people have a whole world of excitement out there. Prime example is I talked to a gal the other day, and a freshman, and I asked her what her major was, and she said human resources, but she said it like this: human resources. And I said, if I can give you any wisdom, it's find out what your passion is, because I can tell you right now, Rosalie, if you follow your passion, you will never have to work a day in your life. And what I mean by that is because you will be filled with joy. I can sit down and write a screenplay, and I can sit down at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the next thing I know, it's 9 o'clock the next morning. And I don't eat, but I'm so engrossed and so passionate about my project. That's not the case in something I'm not interested in. So that, you know, there are tests out there, the Briggs-Myers. I don't think it's called the Briggs-Myers anymore. I think it's called something else. But colleges give you an opportunity to take a test many tests that will tell you what you're good at. So go take those tests and find out what you're going to be not only good at, but what you're going to love to do. Because I think that's what makes so many people so unhappy in their life, is they go and get a job because they got to support their family, or they give up. They give up on their dreams. Yeah, my dreams had to wait till I was 65, but they were always in the back of my mind that someday, you know, when I got the kids grown, the grandkids and all that someday I would get to follow my passion. So follow your passion, whatever that is. I visualize this all the time, to have a canvas chair with my name on the back that says screenwriter, and a trailer on set that the director and the producer send me into to do my rewrites. I am currently engaged with an entertainment lawyer who has already sent me to the dreaded notes. I want to tell you all this. There's a thing in screenwriting that you'll hear screenwriters refer to as the dreaded notes. Something I want to inspire you with: screenwriting is not one and done. Screenwriting could be hundreds of rewrites. You've only begun to have that first draft, because then you send it out. And that's when you learn how to take the positive critiques about your work to learning. It's not that people are critiquing you, they're helping you make it better. And that's what our screenwriting teachers at least have done for me. And it's a first draft. I mean, that's all you can really get done in a semester, but you've only begun. And I've been to the Austin Film Festival, and I can tell you that they will tell you repeatedly, even the screenwriters that are writing on staff, they will call it the dreaded notes. And that's because you send it out to whoever, and before they're going to go out, they're going to now put their name on packaging you, basically. So they want to present a product that's just like, you wouldn't take Twitter, for example. You wouldn't take Twitter out before it's ready. Before it's ready to go live, you wouldn't go out and sell it. You would make sure it's live before probably back in the old days when they were selling the idea, maybe. But it's the same thing. You know, it's not, you're letting your baby go, but somebody else has to promote you and the product. So don't take it personal. You know, they're trying to make you better.